But let's go ahead and talk
So,
about Mike's Showbiz album. This album is 24 tracks, about like what, 40 to
hmm
50 minutes. Jeez, it's just it's a long album. It's I mean, it's a long album track wise, but in terms of like actually listen to it, it's a really shorter body of work. And for me,
hmm
actually going into this album, I'm not gonna lie, B, I was like, I was like, something's making me not like really want to care about this Mike album. I don't know why.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
because the weekend drop, but I went to Bear Trap on my initial listen. I'm like, all right, I like it. It's cool.
yeah,
Then we get to the second track. I'm like, all right. Then we get to the third track. I'm like, all right. We get to the fourth
yeah.
track, which I liked on the initial listen. I didn't really care for it on
Watered
multiple
down.
listens. Yeah, watered down. Then after that, Man in the Mirror, Artist of the Century, What You About to Do, which is my first time hearing 544. That's your boy.
My
Yeah, I'm like,
guy.
all right. He kind of reminds me of someone. Is it like a Kenny Mason or a Jid? I don't know who he reminds me of vocally,
hmm
but he reminds me of one of them. Then we get the Belly One and The Rock. And on this, I'm just like, okay, it might got me bouncing a bit on some of these songs,
hmm
B. And then we get to The Wait, 2K20, which I'm just like, Mike, what are we doing?
That was like you could tell that was an old when he was mumbling, doing his thing from the weight.
Yeah,
I think he actually has a song called The Weight, album. My buggy.
yeah, but
But it
there was
gave
a
you
song.
that vibe
Yeah, and so for me,
of
I'm just
him.
like, I don't like when Mike is
Oh,
mumbling.
it's Weight of the World. My bad. It's the Weight of the World. Yeah. So
Uh,
he have an album called The Weight of the World, and I'm thinking that probably was Circa, what it called? Circa that time
Circa, yeah,
period.
Circa.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like that song. Any of the songs where Mike is mumbling or the song just sounds horribly mixed, I wasn't getting down with that. And really, that happened around the 10 track mark. I did like Lost Scribe. I thought that was cool. You're the only one watching. I was like, mm-mm.
I love
Lucky, I
that.
like that. But number 82 to 16, I'm like, what the F happened to the mixing? I'm like, what are we doing right now? I could barely hear anything. The beat is beating you up right now, Mike. It wasn't beating you up like viciously, like Lil Baby's album, the beats was beating him up. But I'm just like, Mike, I cannot hear you at all. Like, you need to either speak up or you need to lower the goddamn bass on this song or you need to lower the song itself because it was just beating him up. And then we get the strange feeling. I like that. Then we get the burning house. I'm like, all
Strange.
right, cool. But then we get to Showbiz intro, and I'm like, intro? I'm like, what? And
hmm
then it's like the album took a turn. And the
He's just
last,
rapping.
yeah, but it's also had a bit more bounce to it. It kind of reminded me of the album that you put me on to last year from Mike, the one with
hmm
the
Oh
other
wait.
producer.
Oh,
His
oh, was
name.
the little EP he did?
Yeah, it reminded me.
Yeah.
It gave me similar vibes to that, where I'm like, okay, this sounds like he's switching up the flow. He's not as
Mhm.
monotone. He's kind of bouncing with the beat a bit. I'm like, all right, Mike, but you only gave me that for like what, 3 to 4 tracks, and then we got the Diamond Dancing outro, which was broke or whatever. I'm just like, Mike, don't tease me like that, my boy. What are we doing? But overall, Mike lyrically, to me, he gave off a pretty good rapping performance. Like I said, the only time I really didn't like it was when he was doing the mumbling thing. But sometimes I like it. No, 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 no. And he does his usual monotone thing. The reason I liked him doing it a bit more than Earl is because to me, he has a bit. I know it sounds weird. He has a bit more charisma with it. I think that's the
Mhm.
best way for me to say. He has a bit more like to it when he
Mhm.
actually does his monotone thing. Some of the beats that he was picking on this album as well. Like I said, every
Picking.
time I was thinking about,
He produced most of it. I think he produced
oh, he
like
produced most of it because I heard that he
he's
produced some of it. I just wasn't sure
yeah.
how
I don't
much
know
of
if he
this he
produced
produced.
most, but he produced a lot of it. He's DJ Black Power, if you don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I learned that
Yeah.
from Twitter this weekend. People was like, "I'm
Okay.
surprised more people don't know that." I'm just like,
He got a
yo,
whole project under it too, like his beats and stuff.
well, I'm saying to the Twitter elitists, I was like, "You guys don't know that?" I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
no, I don't know that. Well, now what? What are you gonna do now that I don't? I told you I don't know that. But yeah,
Right.
overall, I like some of the production choices on here. I like the vibe of the album as well. It definitely, when you look at the track listing and how short these songs are, it does give you that burning desire vibe again from how many tracks and how short these songs are. I have to listen to Burning Desire again because I obviously listened to this one more to do a review on this. I don't know which one I like more as of right now. Right now, I still have Burning Desire up there for me, but I might need to re-listen to it after listening to Showbiz. But overall, I think I like this album. It's not a bad album at all. Mike is having a good rapping performance. Mike can sometimes be a yapper as usual,
Mm.
especially when you're doing this type of rap and you're doing it very monotonely. But yeah, I think there was just some points on here where I'm just like, okay, there was some bounciness to this album that I really didn't expect that you actually predicted to be on here that
Mm.
I enjoyed. Lyrically, like I said, he's there. Rapping performance is good. You know what you're getting when you get a Mike project. He's gonna be rapping like he usually does. So yeah, how do you feel about this, B?
I loved it, bro. I played like I don't know, like 3 times today
Mhm.
alone. I feel like it's I feel like I say this. I've been saying this a lot with a lot of artists because I feel like a lot of them are perfecting their sound. Like even when I said with Pink Sifu last week, Mike did the same thing. Like he added different elements that he used as his, as him coming up as an artist. Like the whole not being mixed very well. That was his aesthetic at one point. That's why I said you probably wouldn't like old Mike stuff because of how it's mixed. Remember I say go back and you'll listen to how where he come from. Kind of like to
Mhm.
some rap songs, like all that Earl was inspired by that little movement they had going on in New
Mhm.
York at the time. I cannot think of the name of their little group. It was like something Village or something like that, I think. But it was a good amount of like creators, producers, rappers, and they all made lists. It was a little movement around like 2017 or 2018, 2016 as well. Because I got put on the mic around like 2017-ish, I
Mhm.
think, 2018. But but yeah, man, I think it was some really good rapping on here. I love Lucky. I love that sample. He has some really good beats, some crazy
Is that the
samples
one
on
with the
here.
Jodeci sample on there? That
Now,
oh,
now, Lucky has the ooh la 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 at the end. Like I don't know if it comes from the freaking Cool in the Gang ooh la la song or what. I don't know
or
where it come from.
the Run the Jewels one.
Yeah, no, I wasn't Run the Jewels
Mm.
because it's an older. I'm like, man, because that freaking it felt like an old school like drum on that joint on Lucky.
Mhm.
And man, I like how he was rapping on that joint. He said something about like it was a little loud. And he was like, "How they be talking?" Hold on, let me look at the lyric real quick. He was like, he said something like, "But they never rap. How they speak, they be appearing as black, but they never black or whatever he was saying." I was
Mhm.
like, yo, I know what you said there. I get what you saying, bro. You know what I'm
Which
saying?
track was the one where he had the guy at the end that was like, "Oh yeah, it's new Mike. I'm gonna
Oh
glaze."
yeah, I'm a glaze. I'm a
Yeah.
glaze. I even
What
shed
the
a
fuck?
tear. I can't think of the name of the song. He was like, I
What,
even
which
shed it.
one was that one?
He was like, I
Was
even
that
shed
Belly
a
One?
tear.
I forgot the name of it. I think it
Was it
might have been
Belly One?
Belly One
You
or The
think it was
Rock.
Belly One?
It was either Belly
I
One or
don't
The
know.
Rock.
I should have looked. I didn't know. But yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
was like, I even shed a tear. Yeah, he did say that. But overall of the project, how you was breaking it down when like, it feels different here. Like he got into the like it wasn't mixed really well. I feel like he sectioned it out in a way of
Mm-hmm.
like how he wanted it to start. Like even with the intro, you say it switched, it flipped, it got more bouncy. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like, oh, this is Showbiz intro. I guess this is what they want. I don't know. You know what I mean?
That's what
And
I
I know
thought. I
yeah,
thought it was more
that's
of a
how,
mainstream appealing sound.
yeah, that's why I was feeling like, and he was touching on different type of subjects on here, and I was trying to find an overall theme of the Showbiz. I think I
Mm-hmm.
need to dive more into the lyrics and stuff, but
Same.
overall, I really enjoyed this. Is all 4 listens. Um, I really enjoyed I love how he ended it with Diamond dancing broke or whatever
Mm-hmm.
because it was like an instrument and instrumental. But I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking, I'm like, is he sampled some vocals in the back? And I'm like, I went in and got the lyrics and seen what he was saying, but it's actually him. And I don't know, it gave me the vibes of like, especially how the vocals was distorted and it was more focused on the instrumentation. And it felt like a movie of a scene at the end of the movie. It felt like it was an ending scene of like a with no resolution. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's why how I felt, and I'm like, what do this mean? When I heard the ending of it, I feel like it's something that I'm missing in the album. So it's making me want to return back to it. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
listened to it like 3 times today because I was trying to understand this theme because how it ended, and I'm like, this feels like it means something because nothing else sounds like this on the album to me when it comes to just the feel that it gave me.
Mm-hmm.
It had a reaction of some type of emotion I got. I felt like I was watching a movie. I don't know why I'm like this making feel like I'm missing something. So I kept going back and listening to the album,
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out what I'm missing about. Is it a theme? So I don't know. I'm lost. I don't know if sometimes I feel certain things. You know, people we interact with music differently. So
Mm-hmm.
did that ending, that track, did it make you feel anything? Like did it make
Well,
you feel like a
to me,
closing
like
title?
yeah, I'm about to say to me, it didn't feel like a closing title. I mean, it technically closed the album out because it
Hmm.
isn't Mike talking on there at all. Like, there's barely any vocals happening on there. But for me, whenever I would listen to it and I wasn't watching the tracks go by while I was
Hmm.
listening to it, I would be thinking like, okay, a song is about to come on after this, like through the album.
Hmm.
and then it'd be like something different from like it would go to Burning Desire, and I'm like,
Hmm.
okay. I'm like, I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, is this the end of the album? I'm like, all right. But it was kind of weird to me because he does like how you said the sectioning thing, and like I said earlier, it's weird how he kind of like sectioned it, and he did Showbiz intro at track 20, but then
Hmm.
Diamonds Dancing broke. Why'd you put that in parentheses that you're broke right there? Like, are you saying like you got into Showbiz and you became broke? Because if you look at the parentheses of some of this stuff, Work Harder, 2K20, you obviously had the interlude, which we don't count. And then we have the intro, and then you have broke. I don't know if he's trying to tell a story in that as
Yeah,
well.
because so the lyrics he's saying, he goes, "Before I feel away, I hope you still will. I hope you still will stay close. Ain't much I felt today, but love and selfish ways at most. As soon we go our separate ways, there ain't no better way to cope. Some things I wish I never change, but if it never change, it's broke." And I'm like, huh. I was trying because I'm like, I need the lyrics
But
because
maybe
he how
also because of how he changed the album in that last quarter, maybe he could
Mhm.
be talking about that.
Yeah. I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I feel like I'm missing something. I love the album,
I'll be real
and
with
that's
you.
when
I feel like I'm missing something when it comes to this type of music too, because I'm just like I'm not getting
I know.
anything right
Yeah,
now.
I don't. It's always like it's some type of underlying theme to this. Like Burn Desire. Yeah, I got it at the most part, but like Showbiz, I'm trying to understand this. That one say I need some listens.
So right now I'm looking at Genius right now, and it says that this is obviously his 12th album. But
Mhm.
the album was originally going to be called Man in the Mirror. There is a song
Okay.
called Man in the Mirror. So I don't know if this is
Yeah,
supposed to be a reflection of him getting into the
cause
game.
cause he was talking about like, oh, I'm just as bad. Like, people think I'm this, but he was reflecting on a lot of things. I'm saying he was saying a lot of stuff in there. I don't know if he's saying the showbiz either broke him
Mhm.
or,
Mm.
or, what I'm saying? Did it break him or I don't know. I like this, because I like when it comes to Mike, yes, he now gets into that little bouncy mood, a little flow that make you be like, all right. But he be saying some stuff on some of these tracks too. So like, sometimes you get caught into the production or get caught into the little flow he doing and just be vibing. But he be saying some stuff. And
Yeah.
that's why I try to lock in into his lyrics a lot because he
I
be
think the
having some
hard part for
sayings like,
me this weekend was locking into the lyrics because
yeah,
when the album first comes out, you ain't got the lyric sheet.
yeah. He has the lyrics, I think.
He has the lyrics like
Well,
now.
On Apple Music, his lyrics is already in there.
Well, when you first get the album, it's like it takes like 1 to 2 days. Like I think at Sunday or Monday, that's when the lyrics actually come
Oh, well,
in.
I didn't check the lyrics on Friday.
See, I know that they don't come up because I
Yeah,
looked
yeah,
already, and I generally look sometimes, but I already know that they wasn't gonna be there. But yeah,
yeah.
that's the one thing when it comes to music like this. Like I need the lyrics because
Hmm.
sometimes because of how you're rapping, you could like I'll be real. I'm not the best like at decoding the bars if you're not
Hmm.
speaking as clearly. And with the type of delivery that Mike has, he doesn't really give you a breather type moment to really like
Hmm.
listen to what he's saying. He's just still going. And so it's like, okay, if
Hmm.
I didn't catch this bar, I'm not going to catch the next bar, and I'm not going to catch the next bar. So it's going to continue going on. Either way, the way that he does his rapping performance, kind of like a Boldy James, he always is in pocket when he's doing this monotone flow. He always has the right selection of production in order to go over these type of beats as well. The lyrics to me is one of those things where it's like, dang, this is gonna take me multiple listens or maybe just an actual lyrical sheet to look at
Hmm.
for me to actually fully grasp and understand the concept that he's going for on here, especially
And
with him having two older black ladies on the cover as well.
yeah, so like with Mike, I always try to like decode a little bit, like, because he comes with different skits as well. Like he has a skit with a man talking about MLK, about bringing his people into a burning house, and also leaving you on the cliffhanger because he got killed. We don't know what that mean, and also having like I don't know what will that language be because he has an African background. I think he's Nigerian as well, but
Mhm.
he's from America. So that's the the like the the black ladies on here
On the cover.
on the cover, seem like it's some type of, African garb or whatever, right? So he
Yeah.
gives me that. He's like, he brings in like Black American culture and Black American culture and technically like a African American culture or African culture into this. He's like the Pan African rapper, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like both sides.
Are you saying he's non FBA?
Ah, here you go with this.
I'm just saying, B. Are you saying that basically he made this whole album because he knew he was going to get reparations from
Oh
Tweaking the
my God.
Sheep?
Oh nah. Oh no. But nah, it's like when Mike brings some of this stuff, like when he have like certain skits, I'm like, what did this skit mean? Like he had the skit of the guy. I don't know if the guy was a stunt man, but he goes of
Hmm.
like, oh, only time I made accidents was when I was trying to show off.
Hmm.
And I'm like, the showbiz. He's trying to show off. He made an accident. Like I don't know if he's saying like the showbiz, I'm making mad mistakes.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And maybe some of his mistakes not noticeable yet. But I don't know if he's struggling with getting big and some people gonna understand like some of the I guess the vices he have or something. I don't know. I was just trying to decode some of this stuff, but overall, I love the album. I love the album. But when I hear skits in the album,
Hmm.
especially when it's not like from your friend and y'all having these skits that go inside to a story, and you just use like some dialogue from like an interview or from some old, it always like okay, he's trying to say something. I don't think he's just naturally grabbing random skits just because it sound good at the end of a in between tracks. I think these skits mean something. So I don't know. That what makes me think more. Maybe he does do that. Just oh, I
Hmm.
like what he said here and I chunked it in here. But I just think it'd be more to that.
I think one more point I really have on this album, and I guess I didn't know because I didn't look this album up. I just looked it up to
Mm-hmm.
see what the lyrics were to some of the stuff. And you know, some other Mike stuff popped up. I didn't know he was a fan of MF Doom, but I could
Mm-hmm.
clearly see the inspiration now, especially when I went to listen to the Matt Villain demos that recently released this week.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I listened to that. I mean, like I said, there was some stuff where there was like a bit abstract. You could see the concept and stuff like that, and some stuff wasn't mixed well. I realized like how Mike is doing something very similar to what MF Doom was doing or did do back then in terms of like being a bit more abstract, being a bit
Mm-hmm.
more I don't want to say off kilter, but it was just very
It's that
like it
avant-garde, bro.
yeah, it's just very like like you don't get it at first. Like you gonna need the multiple listens. He's creating this whole thing with this album in terms of like it being very like not lo-fi, but it's not like loud, but it's very chilled out beats. He has a monotone flow. Obviously, he doesn't have the same delivery type as an MF Doom, but also the way that he is doing these sounds, it all is cohesive. It all fits into it's the best way I can say is like it reminds me of Mad Lib's production in terms of like it being timeless. Like this
Mm-hmm.
doesn't fit into a certain time or era. Like this could have came out 2 years ago. This could have came out 3 years ago. This could come out 2 years later. Like to me, this doesn't fit in any time.
Mm-hmm.
So it fit
But
to me. That's what it reminds me of in that Mad Villain way, where it's like it doesn't have like a certain era that it sounds like it's coming out of as well.
But they come and they like babies of like MF Doom like fans like even like look at Earl Sweatshirt some rap songs. When you listen to that album, you think of dang this is like poorly mixed. I don't know what is he talking about. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot. He put it's more emotion built about like he's pretty much Earl is like just pouring himself out like on there and it's like here goes some rap songs pretty much. You know what I'm saying? But like it felt in a way of like how could I say this? It's like when you like, all right, this is my job. Like, I'm depressed right now. This is what I'm talking about, but I gotta put out this album. Here's some rap songs. I don't know. That's like when Earl did that.
Staples in Dark
You
Times,
say what? It's
the
like
kind of
dark
like what Vince
times.
Staples in Dark Times.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of you could say that as well, but I'm saying like from the sound wise of like what Mike and Earl and them are making right now.
Hmm.
It's in that vein of like it's not mixed pretty well. I'm rapping. It don't feel like as much like I'm doing too much to like show off the quality. It's like, here you go. But I'm actually pouring a lot into this, but of me, but I'm probably not putting more into perfecting the sound of it. But I
Hmm.
put a lot up I did a lot with this beats. You ain't gonna find this sample, but it seems like it's like lazy or something. Like you'll be like, man, he just this stuff sounds like this, he ain't mixed this well.
It's not quality controlled, is why the best way I'll say it.
It's like I'm putting out this art right here, and I'm not trying to like make it like this perfect, clean freshness. I'm not trying to make it all
Yeah,
corporate.
it has a
Yeah,
bit of a
yeah,
gritty, authentic
yeah.
feel
That's what
to
I'm
it.
saying. That makes
That's
you
what I'll say.
that
It's like going to
authenticity.
it's like going to like a restaurant, like a mom and pop restaurant that isn't a
Hmm.
big chain, and look a
Yeah.
bit dingy on the inside, look a bit
Hmm.
old, but the food fire.
So it's like like with Navy Blue, Mike, Earl, like you could not like how Earl rapping right now because you know back then he rapped a little different, but he was a good rapper. But I feel like a lot of these guys now, like in that camp, they want to make you feel something, and that's what I like from Navy Blue, Mike, Earl. I feel like an emotion mostly from what they're saying instead of like sometimes yeah the beats be some of the beats be dope, but you kind of like not focused on that. They kind of want you to. I think they want you to focus more on what they're saying, and the instrumentation also adds a layer to it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. I get what you're
It's
saying. That
yeah,
that type of music doesn't speak to me. I'm gonna be real with
yeah.
you.
So that
Because for me,
speaks to
it's like a
me.
movie. It's like if I have a sad scene, it either needs to have no music or it needs to have some music to accompany it that
Mhm.
fits that scene. That's how I am
But
musically.
like a score can make a film. A score can
Mhm.
it adds to the film. You
A
know what I'm
good score,
saying?
yeah, a good score can
A
add
good
to a film.
score,
A bad score could definitely take away from a film.
it can take away from it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But sometimes a score, like the music, isn't always needed in every scene, though.
No, it's
So,
not. Especially
so
like I like before we move on, that what takes me out of a lot of like Issa Rae TV, her shows, her produced shows, and a lot of like black shows that's coming out like the whole like comedy thing. I feel like each scene starts off with a brand new rap song or something. I'm like, why do they do that all the time? And like a scene happen and then boom, another song plays. Doom, da-da-doo, da-doo, and then goes on, and then another scene. Doom,
mhm.
da-da-doo, da-doo. I'm like, I don't care. I don't know. I feel like that. You get what I'm saying? Like
I
in
get it, but
movies,
you
it's
also got to think: are you the core audience they're trying to capture?
I'm oh no, I'm not. But I'm saying they can throw me out of stuff.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I completely agree. I agree because
Mhm.
sometimes it feels like I don't want to say pandering, but it's like you kind of like you living up to the stereotype. I don't
Yeah,
know how to like. I
cause
don't
like
know how to
sometimes and
articulate that well.
that's why Star Wars films are like amazing, bro. Cause like Hans Zimmer and all them, like what they do, it's not vocals, bro. They killing you with the orchestras, the real instruments. And I think like with Mike, he also a producer. He'll have a track in here that's nothing but it's just instrumentation. You know what I'm saying? It's not even no rapping. It's a little snippet of a beat he made, but it also adds more to the story, like what Madlib does in like Mad Villainy. You got some
Hmm.
instrumental tapes. It just breaks it apart, gives you a little breathers, stuff like that. Like it's like watching a film. Sometimes you have a montage with nothing but music playing,
Hmm.
or you have somebody just sitting in their house and nothing but the score. I don't know. It just sets the mood. All this stuff is just you want to feel. B. That's what
Yeah,
music is about.
yeah,
It's a feeling.
yeah. I think I'm gonna have to give this one a bit more, a few more listens. I definitely want to revisit this and at the mid-year point and see how I feel about it, but also have the lyrics up while I'm listening
Yeah.
to it as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, you got any last closing notes on this album, B?
My closing notes is, yo, Mike, continue doing what you're doing, man. I think you're an amazing artist. And I'm just looking forward to what you're gonna do in the future, man, because I think this kid's only 25, bro. He's just like 25, 26, I believe. I could be wrong. I think he's just in his mid 20s.
Hey,
Like,
Mike, if you see this, comment down below and answer some of the questions we had on here. God dang it.
yeah, he won't.
Yeah, he won't. But if you do see it, God dang it, answer them.
I'm gonna check his age, but you can go. You can go. We can go
Uh,
into the other thing.
but yeah, that's about it for Mike
He's
Showbiz.
27. He's
Oh, he's
27.
27. Okay, he's near
Hmm.
my age. But
Yeah.
yeah, let us know what y'all think about Mike Showbiz down in the comment section down below.
Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture.